Hi, in this video I'm going to introduce you to the HiCode editor interface. So without further ado, let's jump into it. To enter the editor, you can either first go to your workbench and click here to create a new app, or you can just type in editor.hicode.com here in your browser, and I would recommend that you save this as a bookmark so you can come back at any time. So now it says welcome to HiCode, and we are going to create a new app. For now, we'll just stick to the default and select this relative position web app, and we can select a new project name. Let's say editor introduction, and click on create. Now we've come to the editor, and I'm going to give you a quick introduction of it. So first, look at the top of our screen. It's the documentation, and if you click on it, it takes you to the documentation center, and here you can find the introduction of HiCode and the manuals of different widgets. Let's go back to the editor. In the new project that we've just created, the first thing we see is a blank area in the middle. We call it the stage, or the window of the editor. The stage can be compared to the canvas in some mainstream image processing software such as Photoshop. It defines an editing area of the project. Your creation and design will be visible here. On the left side of the editor is the widget bar, which is a series of small icons arranged vertically. Each icon is called a widget, and each widget has its specific function. For example, this group is called the media widgets, and they are used for page layout or data processing. Widgets are the core of HiCode, and all interaction, animation, and data are based on widgets. We can achieve a wide range of functions by combining and arranging the widgets. When we meet a new widget and don't understand how to use it, we can always check the three elements of a widget: the property, action, and the trigger. You can also click More Info here to go to the documentation center and see the manuals. It gives you examples and the most commonly used scenarios of this widget. For widgets, we will give you a little more detailed explanation in the next section. In the widget bar, the widgets are grouped by their functions. On top, you can find the system widgets, and in the middle, the media widgets, followed by the data widgets and communication widgets. You can view the bar in simplified and classic mode. By default, it is in classic mode, and you can fold it like this. So if you find the widget bar is not showing all the widgets, you can put a mouse in the widget bar area and scroll up and down to view the hidden widgets. What we should pay attention to here is that when we select different types of components, the available widgets will change accordingly. For example, when I click on server, you can find that many widgets are gone, but also some new ones appeared, and they are for the server only. And when we are on a stage, there are a lot more to choose from. This means that when we are in different environments, such as on a stage or in a server, or when we have selected a parent widget, the system will automatically show widgets that match the current situation. So, when you are looking for a widget, make sure you've selected the correct developing environment. Widgets are also divided into front-end widgets and back-end widgets. Now I am in a stage, so those are the front-end widgets. When I selected the server, it changes to backend widgets. This is how we separate front-end and backend. On the right side of our workspace is the object tree. Everything we add in the current development environment will be recorded by the object tree and displayed in a tree structure. In an application, visible content belongs to the stage. We can manipulate the objects by selecting and dragging them to different places. We can copy-paste, rename, and search by name, or we can add interactions to them. I will talk about these operations in detail in a later course. Server is mainly used for data storage. We can add services and databases here. Services helps widgets on a stage to interact with databases. Let me give you a quick example of adding a widget. Say I want to add a text. Remember, text belongs to the stage. First, make sure stage is selected. Next, click on text widget on the left. There it is. We can see a text appeared on our stage, and it is also added to the stage in the tree. Text 1. When we select the text widget we've just added, it gives us properties of the selected item on the left in a property panel. You can see a lot of properties here, and properties of each widget are different. We can change the value of widgets by setting its properties. For example, I'm going to change the content of this text to maybe this is a text. When I click a blank area, the input box loses focus and the content is changed. The display on the stage is changed too. There are many more we can do with a text. We can set its style, for example its background color, font size, text color, etc. Anyways, the property panel is used to adjust appearance, position, and function of a widget to meet our development goals. We can fold a panel here, so when you can't find the property you need, check if you folded the panel. Up here is the global menu bar. We have a group of buttons on the left, in the middle, and on the right. First, look at the left side. In Files, we can create a new project or a group project. Also, you can find your recently opened projects. Saving is a good habit. You can click Save here or simply press Ctrl and S. You can also use Save As to make a copy of your project. Deleted projects will go to the recycle bin. You can check them in your workbench. Besides, you can manage your saved versions in history versions. A preview version will appear after you clicked Preview, here in the middle, and it keep up to 100 times of your manually served version. The editor also auto-save your design every 5 minutes. Click on a past version to load it, and everything will reverse back to that time. My first version has nothing inside, and you can see it is all blank. I can switch back to my saved version . Oops, I forgot to save. Previews, manually saved, auto-save. Please. Right, I forgot to save. I can switch back to my manually saved version, and now my text is back. The second button here is save, of course. Though I personally prefer Ctrl+S, it is more convenient. Next, we have backend resources. Those are ready for use resources stored on the HiCode server. In these boxes, there's supposed to be some databases designed for different scenarios. For example, user, e-commerce, voting, root, sockets, and live streaming. Essentially, these are the same as the widgets you add from the right sidebar, but you can use them across different projects. We haven't talked about the server database related content yet, so for now you only need to know that there's a portal for you to add them here. Next, we have the front-end resources, or the stage resources. It contains image, video, audio, animation, and socket resources. This area in the middle contains buttons for preview configuration and publishing projects. First of all, let me tell you about the most commonly used preview function. When we click on the preview button and hit confirm, and then the browser opens up a new window for us showing the preview. This content is exactly the same as the content shown on the stage, and then you can right click and choose Inspect, or use F12 to open Chrome DevTool. You can click here to change the size of the preview window, for example to the size of your phone. If you want to scan QR code to view the result of your project, you can click the QR code button and preview the result by scanning it. Now I'm going to add a page 1 to the stage and another page 2. I'll delete this text first. On the page 1 I'm going to add a text, and on the page 2 I'm going to add a button. If I click on the preview button now, I will see something like this. Why is my button gone? This is because our default page 1 is located at the bottom of the object tree, and when we preview, HiCode will first show the page which is located at the bottom. But what if we only want to see page 2? We can use the button here, the single play button. HiCode will automatically show the content of the current page. In this way we can view the content of different pages. Please note that only when we select a specific page will we be able to preview the current page. If I select stage, there won't be such a button. Next one is the configuration button. In the configuration window, where you can add configuration to your project. For example, in the URL configuration, you need a custom URL. You can fill in it here. And under the other tag, if you want to publish different types of applications, you need to complete different configurations here. You can build your app for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, live broadcast, IoT interface, email, map, JPush, PayPal. When you click Save, when you save your configuration, you can check this box, so the editor will save your choices. You can see it here, the 1, 2, 3. You can either set a configuration as default or apply one to a new project. User-defined configuration is used for modules. I will talk about modules in a separate chapter. When you're all set, click Build and select your target platform. Next, let's go to the right side. These are the undo and redo buttons. If I accidentally delete this text, what can I do? Click this back button and it will undo my previous action. Ctrl plus Z has the same effect. The next buttons are for alignment and spacing. I will come back to them later in a course on absolute positioning environment. Here we can adjust the size of the stage. By default, this is the size of a phone. We can switch to different brands or to PC or tablets. It is all based on your purpose. The next button here hides and shows the guidelines. Here, the horizontal and vertical guideline. The next button here hides and shows the horizontal and vertical guidelines, where you can find them here. And when you are working on a certain part and you need a closer look, you can zoom in using this plus sign. And if the item is out of sight, you can press space. After you press space, your cursor turns into a little hand, and now you can drag the stage around. Just remember to press space on your keyboard. Also, you can zoom out to have a panoramic view. That is all about viewing the stage. Next, we have the search box where we can search for widgets, and HiCode automatically displays the search result when we click search icon. For example, I can search for my button here, and when I select it, the editor will switch to the item I've selected. On the right side of the editor is the logical widgets bar. We have events, custom events, actions, functions, callbacks, services, transactions, and SQL templates. We will get to use them one by one in the following lectures. Now let's just look at the event. When I click this, and I will add an event to the selected item, for example to this button, and you can see this event added here, and the event window pops up on the left side. Event is a very important widget in HiCode because it determines the whole HiCode logic. I will talk about it in another video. And that is all for this section. Thank you for watching.